Well, I think at the perfect time, 10 years is fast, right? It's crazy. We're 10 years already. Seems like yesterday. But, when the event used to be in San Diego, originally in California, in Carson, California, moved to San Diego, Petco Park. The time that it changed was that time of the economy was down. This was an event that was right after Super Bowl, mid-February. It fit for the destination. When you're talking about an international global event that needs flights from all over the world, Las Vegas is a perfect destination. For a niche sport like rugby at that time, it really gave an opportunity to drive international fans and domestic fans to a destination at a time of year, weather, pricing, everything fit perfect. So I guess you say the perfect storm, right? We as a city and a destination needed a new event. We were in a part of right after Super Bowl and NFL that all of a sudden, what is there in our community? So I think it was a perfect fit, and it's been that perfect fit for 10 years. 2010, I was the director of special events for the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So always playing rugby, and rugby being my passion. I played, and the USA Sevens was always my holiday for my friends. So we'd always go. As soon as I heard that it was up for a bid to move, and they were looking at different destinations, was fortunate enough to reach out to you and Pat and LVCVA and LVE and say, hey, listen, let's put this stuff together with the executives from the Hard Rock Hotel. And everybody took that chance, and it turned out being a great chance for sure. John's an amazing man. We truly missed in the world of rugby for sure. John was our founder. He was the one who dedicated his life to rugby, millions of dollars promoting the sport, growing the sport, bringing it into national attention, whether through the media, through big events like this, and believing that he could build something out of basically nothing. The USA Sevens, when he took over that event, it was nothing. It wasn't a stop in the U.S. He was offered it, and he created it, starting with maybe 5,000 fans over a weekend to now over 80,000 fans in a weekend, with commercial television, with global sponsors and domestic and international sponsors. John led the way. He led the way in the collegiate platform too, with our Penn Mutual Collegiate Rugby Championships. He created that. A club sport turned into a televised sport. John believed and had a passion to believe in what he did, and an amazing entrepreneur, an amazing man, and the rugby community will dearly, dearly miss John. Well, I think, it's Las Vegas, and as a destination, we're a global destination. People around the world want to see Las Vegas. I think what we're doing as a destination for sports is really starting to catch on in all sports, and for the fans, for the players. I love to see the players' eyes. These are international athletes. They're on the Olympic stage. They were in the Rio. They'll be in Japan. But there's a spark that comes to their eye when they see Vegas, because most of them haven't seen Vegas before in their life. It's their first tour. And to walk down Fremont Street and see that is iconic. And Vegas is still Disneyland to many people in the world. And for us, it's a great event. It's the direct flights from the international market is huge for us. The pricing for our fans in all areas. So you can't go to another destination and find the ability to have a fan base where you can charge a ticket from a $70 ticket up to a $1,000 ticket. Same thing with a room. A room night can go for $50 a night to $500 a night. There's nowhere in the world that you can do that and get a 5-star hotel at $300 a night. It just doesn't happen. There's nowhere in the U.S. market that you can do these things. It really, to be able to fly here for the price you can, the accommodations, and then the entertainment value around the event. The ultimate sports, Vegas sports weekend. There's nowhere in the world that you have NASCAR, UFC, rugby, bull riding, and Cher and Elton John and everybody else going on at the same time, and you still have rooms. So it's just, I don't think the world understands yet as much as we understand the value of Las Vegas. So it's amazing. Last year was unbelievable to watch them to win at home for the first time ever, winning on home soil. The players, the emotion, it was amazing. They have carried that over. We're the fifth stop of 10 stops. USA is sitting at #1 for the first time in the history of rugby in the world. So USA is tied for first with Fiji. We've been in the finals the last 4 stops. I think the boys are super excited to come back to US, be on home soil, defend them. I would put the bank on USA for Vegas again. It's at all-time high. The creation of the Major League Rugby that started last year, a new professional league here in America, is now up to 13 teams. It started with 7. Second year, it's at 13. They're getting good draws to watch there. They've got good television product out there. The global sport itself of sevens is expanding. 15s is still always as strong. The World Cup's coming up in Japan here in 19. They'll have, again, it'll be the 3rd largest sporting event in the world. So I think rugby in America has really got an opportunity and is on a peak. You see the colleges now, our collegiate event draws, 24,000 over a weekend. The athletes that are starting at a younger age, the cost to play the game because of the no equipment needed, the fact that there's less injuries and the concussions and the stuff that happens in American football is all helping for youth to start understanding rugby and understanding that it seems violent, but it's not. So I think there's a whole, again, perfect storm brewing that, as the game through John Prismack has commercialized, and now you can see it on TV, you can follow it through social media. The kids can now find their heroes on USA, right? You've got Olympians playing the game. You have an opportunity to play for your country. These all didn't happen 10 years ago. So I think rugby is at an all-time peak right now, and as I always say, percolating to become up in that top 10 sports in America. The event is March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, Sam Boyd Stadium. UNLVtickets.com or USA7s.com to get your tickets. Our event actually kicks off on the Thursday with the Ultimate Vegas Sports Weekend Pep Rally with NASCAR, UFC, USA Sevens, Tough Heatman Bull Riding, the Lights, the Aces, the Raiders, everybody down there to expose the fans to all the athletes for all the sports. And then we kick that off with our Parade of Nations Thursday night, February 28th, down on Fremont Street. And then Friday morning or Friday afternoon, our gates open at 2 o'clock for the first round of the Sevens in the International Festival outside the stadium. So we're looking for a good weekend. Well, I think for the non-rugby fan who's never been to a game, this is probably the easiest sport to watch and understand. If you like the NFL, if you like the big hits, the big runs, and the scores, if you got a little bit of ADD and you can't really pay attention for too long, each game is 2 7-minute halves. So you're talking 14 minutes for a game with big scores, big runs, big hits. You got 7 players on a field, larger field than an NFL football field. So 7 against 7, lots of space, lots of open, lots of energy. It is absolutely amazing to watch these athletes and watch them recover as they play 3 times a day. The other thing, if you haven't been, you don't need to know rugby to enjoy international culture. If you come out to USA Sevens, you'll see, people from 16 to 18 different countries. You have the pockets of Fijians and Samoans and South Africans and the English and the Americans, and just the international culture that is there. The energy in the stadium from the fan is bar none. If you've never seen an international event, if you haven't been to the Olympics, if you haven't been to a World Cup, this is the closest energy that you can get. And then plus that, it's a long day. Our event's 6.5 hours, so there's plenty to do. Outside the festival, or outside the stadium, we do an international festival. In the international festival, we have food from all 16 countries. So you can try meat pies from New Zealand, sausages from South Africa, fish and chips from England. So even if you're not crazy about the rugby, which I know you will be, you're going to go outside and energize. We have the music, the food, the beer, the culture. It's really just something I always try to say. It's not a sporting event. It's an international cultural event. So come out and see it. Expose your children to it. So, give them the culture of the world right in your own backyard. Which, most of our families and our friends don't have the opportunity to travel the world. So it's coming right to you. So just come on out and enjoy a little bit of international culture.